Welcome to GMAT Tuesdays. My name is Kevin, and today we're going to talk about mistakes and how they're the seeds of knowledge. Okay, so I want to talk about not fearing mistakes. You should not fear mistakes because mistakes are a crucial part of learning. Without them, you can't learn. That's the whole point of a mistake, is you find the mistake and then you learn from it. If you don't know that you're making mistakes, if you're not paying attention to them, you're not going to learn. You're just going to keep making those mistakes. And so there's three kind of things that I want to point out about mistakes that hopefully make you feel more comfortable with them and not fear them. First, mistakes are the seeds of learning. With a mistake, you have an opportunity to learn. You should embrace those mistakes, collect them, and cultivate them. And so I drew a wonderful comic here of someone tossing their mistakes. These are seeds of mistakes. You find your mistakes, you hold on to them, you toss them into a field, it rains, and from those mistakes, from those seeds, you have a grassy field, sunny day, and a big tree. And so this tree represents the learning or knowledge you gain from making those mistakes. So, don't fear the mistakes, embrace them. They are the seeds of learning and the seeds of knowledge. Also, know there are many different types of mistakes. We always hear like, oh, you made a mistake, and assume that it's like one thing. But a mistake is like a big category of different things. There's lots of different types of mistakes. Just like there's lots of different types of seeds. And depending on the type of mistake, you do different things to cultivate your learning. So sometimes you have a mistake that's truly just a lack of knowledge. Like it's a concept or idea that you've never seen before, and you made a mistake just because it was entirely new. And so you know with this type of mistake, you have to go out and study, learn that new concept, figure out all the ins and outs, so that you can have that knowledge and take it with you and not make the mistake again. Another type of mistake that happens a lot with the GMAT, just because it's a really long test and people are studying for long periods of time, and sometimes we make a mistake because we're tired or we're stressed. That's normal. You get tired, you make mistakes. You get stressed, you make mistakes. You lose focus. That type of mistake, you correct it a different type of way. You get rest, or you take deep breaths to relax and not feel the stress. Another type of mistake, I drew this to be like an avocado seed. It's a big seed. Silly mistakes. Some types of mistakes we sort of classify as these sort of silly errors that when we go back and look, we're like, oh man, why did I do that? I knew how to solve this problem. You just like made like one tiny error at the end. Like it was like forgetting to carry a 1 over to the tens column, or like miscalculating a percentage or something. And so, or not rounding correctly. Those like little mistakes where you like know the concept, but if you were a little bit more focused and you took your time a little bit more, you wouldn't have made that mistake. So that's another type of mistake and easily corrected. Another type of mistake as well is that you forget the task or you misread the question. This is, again, kind of related to focus, maybe fatigue and stress as well. But sometimes you just are solving a problem, you work through a lot of it, and you get to the end, you're like, oh, this is the answer. And you go back and look at the answers, or the correct answers, excuse me, and you see, oh, wait a second. I didn't take one more step to get to the actual answer. Or you just misread what you were looking for. Sometimes, you know, you might have like, you're trying to calculate, you're working in geometry and you're calculating the area of a rhombus when really you should be calculating the perimeter of a rhombus. Those like mistakes where you're not diagnosing the problem correctly. So, and there's more as well, but see, there's a collection of mistakes and each one is different and you do something different to correct it. So it's important to catalog your mistakes and take different steps to correct them. Finally, you aren't the mistake. Let me say that again. You are not the mistake. It's a tragedy in this world that people connect the mistake to the person, that they think, oh, I made a mistake and I'm a bad person. or it somehow reflects your character, which is ridiculous. We should tell people they're doing a great job if they make mistakes. We should encourage people to make mistakes because, remember, mistakes are the seeds of learning. And so we want people to struggle. We want people to find something hard and make a mistake to like stretch their brain, because that means they're improving and learning and becoming a better person. So you are not the mistake. Remember, you just happen to make a mistake. It's an action. It's a thing outside of you. So instead of getting down on yourself, saying, oh man, I'm so bad and terrible, I made a mistake, just be like, huh, what did I do that led me to this wrong answer? And what can I do next time to avoid making that same decision? And so the mistake is something separate from you. It's seeds. They're seeds outside of you. And you are a gardener and you're collecting these seeds of mistakes. You're throwing them on the ground, watering them, and cultivating a beautiful flower of knowledge. All right, so don't fear mistakes. There is an associated article that'll be down below here that you can go and read more about this idea. But embrace your mistakes. That's how you're going to improve on the GMAT. Be excellent to the universe, and I will see you next Tuesday.